going through life, we might tend to just pour ourselves into any and everything else but ourselves. Pouring our time and our energy into work, pouring our time and our energy into our family, our kids, our siblings, our parents. Yo 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 yo. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Marissa. Okay, you're not about to do this right now. You're not about to do this with me right now. Anyway, what's up? I'm Marissa. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since my last sit down video that I connected with you guys, that I sat in front of the camera. I'm going to talk a little bit about why that was. I had to take a little sabbatical, a little break from YouTube. I don't even know when my last video was, honestly. I feel like maybe December. No, it was definitely after New Year's, because I remember making a video about coming into the new year a little different. So maybe like January, February, who knows. But I definitely was just feeling like I needed a break. I needed to refocus. There were a lot of things going on in my life. Today we're going to talk a little bit about having a you season or a me season, whatever you want to call it. So I feel like I have been very heavily focused on myself lately, definitely for the past like 5-6 months. It's been a good and a bad year. I feel like there's a lot of pros to this year. There's a lot of cons to this year, but for the most part, I've been very focused on myself. I got my personal training certification. I started a new job at Orange Theory, which I will make another video because I know there's some of y'all who might be looking into becoming an Orange Theory fitness coach. So I will be making a separate video about that. But aside from that, I just feel like I needed some time to put the camera down and to refocus on exactly what I wanted to be talking about on YouTube. Part of it, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I wasn't growing on YouTube at the pace that I wanted to. I really had to sit down and be like, yo, things do not happen overnight. You're not gonna blow up and have 1 million subscribers in one day or one night. So I decided to just take some time, like focus on myself, get my, career change together. I'm gonna talk a little bit in another video about like me quitting my job and starting a new job and all that good stuff, focusing on my business. So yeah, let's get into it. So recently, Tabitha Brown, if y'all don't know Tabitha Brown, what are you doing? Because Tabitha Brown is like every Black person's God fairy mother. Like, she is a vegan. She's like just a kind soul, a child of God. She just speaks kind words into your life and on social media. She's just a breath of fresh air. So she recently made a video, I believe it was last week, and she was talking about how you might need a you season. And I felt like she was talking to me. And I was like, yo, this is what my next YouTube video is going to be about. It's going to be about having a you season or a me season. So let's define what a you season is. So I would say a you season or a me season would consist of a time period where you solely focus on yourself. You realign your goals, you figure out your wants, your needs, your likes, your dislikes, things about yourself that you might need to work on, things like that. It's a really good time for self-reflection. I felt like the past couple of months, I really needed to take that time to focus on myself, to figure out where am I going, what the next steps are in order for me to be happy, where my career is going, what my passion is, what my purpose is. That's a big one for me. Just really focusing on my purpose and what I'm doing, if what I'm doing every day is taking me to where I want to be in life, essentially. So sometimes a you season might mean you're gonna be a little bit selfish with your time, with your money, with your energy. So having a you season might mean that you spend a little less time with friends, with family. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to isolate yourself. It just means that you're heavily focused on you, what you need at that time, what you need to be happy. It's you figuring things out for yourself. And sometimes going through life, we might tend to just pour ourselves into any and everything else but ourselves. Pouring our time and our energy into work, pouring our time and our energy into our family, our kids, our siblings, our parents, pouring your time and energy into social media. And then sometimes you find that you're doing all this sucking of your own energy and you're giving, people are taking, and you end up feeling empty. And that's a little bit dramatic, but some people might really feel empty inside. So I think that's the point of having you season, just really tapping into what exactly you need. And then also, like, there's a video of Issa Rae saying,
wow, I don't know what to say. It's feeling like me season right now. I feel so bad for anybody who doesn't fuck with me. Mute me, block me, whatever you need to do, because it's a me season right now. It's my time.
So me season could also mean that, like, you're heavily thriving right now. You're thriving, you're in a good space, you're in a good place, you feel like you're where you need to be in your life, in your career, in your relationship. So that could also be a me season, and that's the plus, right? So that's ideally where you want to be in a me season. That's where you want to get. But sometimes, like, you got to start from the bottom, right? You got to make some changes, you got to cut some ties in order to get to that place of feeling like you're in that really good place of just being happy with yourself. So how do you know that it's time for a you season or a me season, right? What are some signs? So some signs could be feeling burned out. You just feel very tired. You feel drained constantly by work, by life, by just people around you. Another sign could be feeling like you're in a rut, right? Feeling like you're stuck. Maybe you feel stuck in whatever city you're living in. You might feel stuck in your living situation. Maybe you live with your parents or you live with roommates and you're not happy, right? You feel like you're not ideally in the place that you would like to be. Another reason for a me season could just be you might not feel like you know yourself. Like in my 20s, I was very focused on relationships, finding a boyfriend, dating, going out with friends, having fun, vacations, all of that, right? And within that time, like, yeah, that's cool, and I feel like that's what you should be doing in your 20s, but also, when do you really get the time to figure out who you are? When do you really get the time to sit down and be like, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I want, this is what I'm not gonna do, this is what I'm not gonna stand for, this is where I want to live, this is the career that I want, this is what I need to change in my life, right? So sometimes we're just so occupied and we're so busy and we're so consumed by things and just having fun and doing all these things that we feel like we need to be doing in life that we don't sit still. For me personally, like, part of my you season or my me season is it was kind of just like sitting my ass down, like sitting still, taking time to journal. Like, I got a journal. I've been very big on journaling, especially when I feel like there's a lot going on at one time and I need to properly express myself or my thoughts. So journaling, has really helped me in that season to figure out where I want to be, what I need, how to express myself, what I need to eliminate in my life. If you're feeling like there's a constant need for change, that might be your sign that you also need a you season. Are you able to enjoy your own company? Are you able to sit with yourself? Are you able to be alone? When we talk about being alone, we automatically assume that being alone means lonely. Literally just isolating yourself, you're by yourself, right? That's what we think. But it's not a bad thing to be alone, right? We are individual human beings. We weren't born in packs. We're not like this one over here. Unless you're one of those people that were born with other siblings at the same time. We are individual human beings. We are born solo dolo, all right? We were in the womb by ourselves. Coming out the womb and growing up and feeling like you constantly need to be tied to people and constantly be around people, like, that's not necessarily healthy. Everyone's different. You might feel like you're more of a social person, more of an extroverted person where you like that social aspect, right? You constantly need to be around people. But there's also a downside to that, right? Because if you're constantly around people, taking on other people's energy, you sometimes take on the shape and the characteristics of other people. It's a very common thing, right? It happens often when we are in relationships or being younger in high school or things like that, where you're constantly with the same person, your best friend, right? And then you guys start to sound alike, you start to talk alike, you start to dress alike. So it's very common and it's realistic that you would start to become like someone else. So that's why taking the time to be by yourself and being alone, you figure out who you really are by yourself, just you. Who are you? So what are some steps to get into your you season? Number one, I would say start by journaling, right? Just keeping note of your feelings, write down things that you want, start to literally write sentences about things that would make you happy, right? Like, I would be happy if, I'm my happiest when, right? So you start to actually feel those things, right? You start visualizing your happiest self, what your desires are, what your needs are, what your feelings are, all of that. Another way to get into your me season is to set boundaries. So if you're someone that really needs that alone time, you need that solitude, you need that time to tap into yourself, and you want to figure out who you are, you got to set boundaries, right? You can't constantly be available to people. You can't constantly, be showing up for people. Sometimes you gotta say no. You can't show up to every single thing, right? Yeah, people are gonna feel bad, and that's also a part of your you season, right? Like minimizing those feelings of guilt. You should not feel guilty for taking time for yourself. And I think a lot of moms struggle with this specifically. A lot of them just feel guilty for taking that hour to go to the gym, to take that hour to take a dance class, to take that hour to go get a massage. Part of you growing into that best version of yourself is cutting out that guilt. Is it gonna go away completely 100%? Probably not, right? Probably not, especially if you're a mom. You're always gonna have somewhat of like mom guilt, but to minimize it, right? To be like, you know what? I don't feel bad. I don't feel guilty for taking 2 minutes, to do this. I don't feel bad for saying that I can't show up for this person when I just went out with them last week. I need a day off, right? This is my day off. I don't want to spend it out doing whatever, spending time with people that I don't really know or like. That's okay. It's okay. It's cool. People will get over it. If people are really offended by you taking time for yourself, they're probably not really your friend, right? It could be family. They're probably just selfish, right? So then you start to notice who's selfish, who really cares about you, who's getting offended over you wanting to take care of yourself. And that's where you start to make adjustments accordingly. Who you want to keep around, who you want to keep close, who needs probably a little bit more. So your me season should also consist of you scheduling joy, scheduling activities that you really like, things that are gonna make you happy. Taking more time to do things that really feed your soul, like figure out what you really like, what you're passionate about. If you're someone that likes to cook, if you're someone that likes to dance, if you're someone that likes to paint, do more of those things. Like take more time, put it in your schedule, right? The same way that you schedule appointments, right? The same way that you schedule brunch appointments, the same way that you schedule dinner with your friends, things like that. Like make sure you're putting in your calendar, you're setting time aside for yourself to do things that really make you feel good, right? That make you feel alive, that feed you. And then lastly, I would say something that's really gonna help you tap into yourself and get in tune with what you really need and what you desire is tapping into your spirituality, right? Tapping into your intuition. Everybody's different. Everybody, might believe in different forms of a higher power. I believe in God. I was raised a Christian. So the past couple months, I've been definitely focused on building my relationship, my personal relationship with God, tapping into my spirituality, growing my faith, listening to my intuition, listening to whatever God is telling me, right? Just really listening. So depending on your relationship with God, if you do believe in God, if you have a relationship with a higher power, whatever you believe in, that's something that's also gonna help you. Can you stop crinkling that toy? Yo, this dog, I'm done. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope that you got some clarity if you're feeling like you're in a rut, if you're feeling like you're in a bad space. Definitely take the time to take some notes for yourself, get a journal, figure things out, start writing down exactly what you want. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Share this video with someone who also might need it today. And I will see y'all in the next one. Take care.